Enjoy that intro. Enjoy that intro. A great intro put together by Johnny Torres and Roy here at Bake More Pies. But Johnny has been with the show for, I think, 2 months now. And I've kept the intro there, and we are getting ready to do a new one. Doug, good morning. Logan, good morning. Welcome to the Wake.Show. Appreciate you guys stopping by. You're like, man, I didn't stop by. My feed just showed me you for a second, and I accidentally stumbled on you. We'll take you however we can get you.
Take it, man.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm well, man. How are you?
Good. So we are going to. Are we going to work on the intro song today?
Dude, I'm down to do whatever, man.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start there, because then we'll get to stuff you should know. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me run down what we'll be talking about today with stuff you should know, so you can see what's on the slate, and then. Yeah, we will, Martin, and we'll do the intro, and then we'll start working on it live, because this is kind of cool, because this isn't the first time that I've taken a song to Chris, and I don't know anything about music or anything, so the song doesn't usually turn out anything like I originally conceive it, because, well, I don't know anything. So I cannot wait to see what happens with our little 10-second intro. Because I know one thing that's going to I always have a tendency, and do you know what it's called in music? Ending on like this down note versus an up note, like in
like it's either a minor or a major.
There we go, minor or major. Right. I tend to think in minor, and you tend to think in major.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I feel. That's what I feel like anyway. No, is that oversimplifying something?
No, I think it just kind of makes sense when you said that. So I'm like,
okay,
maybe
all right. You doing all right? You having a good time today?
But the thing is, minor and major doesn't mean like negative and positive. It just is minor and major.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So we'll get to that here in a second. But before we do that, good morning, Christy, Ian.
What's up, guys?
Let's get to what is going to be on Stuff You Should Know today. The opioid crisis worsens, and interestingly enough, one of the things that's impacting the way that we are attacking the problem here in the state of Florida is the shooting at Parkland, because some money that was going to go to help the opioid situation here is now going to be diverted to arm, I think, teachers, or to go into that training and all that stuff. So we'll come back to that story a little bit later on in the show. McDonald's flipped its logo. Did you see that this morning?
Did not see that.
To celebrate International Women's Day or something like that. So they picked a couple of locations where they flipped the logo upside down.
That's actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah. Creepy Alexa laugh. I am a few generations away, and I don't mean like human generations. I'm talking about technical generations away from getting myself an Alexa or anything in that category. Max, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling this morning? I got some karaoke stuff to play for you.
You did good, man.
All right, so I
haven't seen you since you did your race, my race.
Oh, that's right.
And then we were showing those pictures. We got to catch up.
All right, so we'll come back to that. Yeah. So people are complaining that Alexa, out of nowhere, Steve Trevino, how you doing, buddy? I haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope all is well. I need to get you on this new show. I need to track you. Who knows? You probably got 10 shows going on. Anyway, outside of my ADD getting out of control. So Alexa, I guess, just all of a sudden fires up and starts giggling or laughing, and it's freaking people out. So we'll come back to that.
Dude.
That's what it sounds like.
Right, exactly. I have Alexa stories too, man. They're real. Out of nowhere, you just, oh, man.
No.
Yeah, it scares you.
Not in my house.
Absolutely.
Tricking the trees is a story about the pollen here in the area, and it's a doctor talking about how to deal with your allergies. For those of you that have, like me, you have.
I was just about to ask you, are you allergic to that? Yeah.
Woo. So some tips and how to make it through. And not only that, there's a lot of them that I didn't even know. I didn't even think of, like just simply making sure that you wash your face multiple times a day. A lot of pollen gets trapped in your hair, so don't go to bed without taking a shower at night and washing that stuff out if you have those kinds of issues. So, and not only that, but Chris,
my dog,
eye drops in Tampa are flying off the shelves. They can't keep them on the shelf.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
All right, let's see what else today. FBI details the mistakes. We'll go over that. They've released a report on how they dropped the ball when it comes to Parkland. So that will be something we got on the table now. The FBI is addressing their issues. The gun control, I don't say the NRA, but gun advocates are giving some ground here in the state of Florida, at least on some of their issues. And so, all right, well, and so we still got to talk about mental health. There's still other things out there. This is comprehensive. We can't let it go. And we'll figure this out one way or another. Also, this is very interesting. The first climate change hearing, climate change science hearing. So it is. This is happening in California. It's pitting scientists up against the scientists from various oil companies. I think Exxon's one of them, and there's a couple of them. So we'll get to that story today and the implications that will come from that. So part of the hashtag Me Too movement. No more. Had you ever been to a car show?
What type of car show?
A car show where they're highlighting new cars and stuff like that, and they'll have the cars on the little turntables, whatever.
Yeah, no, I've been. You pulling up to like some restaurant with all these people with their cars and that kind of stuff.
Well,
no,
not that kind.
No, not the other one.
Not that one. But car shows now are, because of the Me Too movement, are contemplating whether or not to just drop, because they just put hot women next to these cars just to be, hot next to these cars. And so that might be going bye-bye. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then the hairy bikini. We'll end the show with the hairy bikini. Oh, you'll want to see this. Clearwater. What do they call it? Dateline. Clearwater. The hairy bikini. All right, so if you guys, thank you so much. Ross, how you doing? Ryan, Don. When you get the opportunity, go to the Wake.Show on Facebook and follow, subscribe, I guess follow and like, and then our YouTube channel as well, and subscribe there. That helps out a lot as we are getting this show up and running. Over my shoulder here is my good friend Chris McCarty. Good morning, Chris.
My man.
We will come back to all that news a little bit later on in the show, but right now let's talk about a couple things. First of all, the intro to the show. Let's start right there. Monday morning. I want to get you a better shot here. There we go. There, you're nice and tight.
What up, man?
There we go. That's a little. Then that one's fine there. All right. So on a Monday morning, well, over the weekend, I had tasked myself with coming up with a new intro for the show. Johnny Torres left the show a couple months ago to work for Senator Marco Rubio, and so I've had to, we've had to change it. And yeah, a bunch of different ideas, clips from the show, this and that, whatever. But nothing really was exciting me. Then I wake up Monday morning, and all of a sudden, this stupid song is in my head. And it goes, welcome to something to the effect of, welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro. The Wake.Show. Something along those lines. So, normally when I do stuff like that, I don't even think too much about it, because, again, I'm not a singer, I'm not a songwriter, and usually that's just stupid stuff, like, childish. Even though it is very simple, I went, man, that might be perfect, because it's like 10, 11 seconds long, and it's kind of quirky. It's not, so I forwarded it to somebody who could give me an honest opinion. So, were you sleeping when you got that text?
Yeah, but I looked at it, and then I was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
You don't have to patronize me. If it sucks, it sucks.
No, but I would tell you, I would say like, probably not, or let's go another direction. But I mean, I liked it.
Okay.
Because the fact is, when you're saying this is that intro, it's like, all right, we need an intro, and you're just kind of calling it out, like, well, and this is that intro. Like, I think that it's good.
It's supposed to be quirky.
Exactly, and that's what you're saying. You're owning it. Like, yeah, this is the quirky intro. We're happy. We're chill. It's nothing. It kind of introduces just kind of us, quirky dudes who are cool.
All right, and Adam, how you doing, Mom? My mom just joined.
Hey,
hi,
what's up, Moms?
Nice to see you. Nice for you to see me.
Nicest cyber read. You're saying hi.
Adam says once we get it done, we should get Lucky Boys Confusion to record it. Lucky Boys Confusion is the band.
How does he know about Lucky Boys Confusion?
Well, Adam was an intern of mine and a producer of mine going way back, and then it ended up being an engineer at the radio station for a while as well.
Nice, because I didn't know a lot of people that even knew Lucky Boys Confusion. That band, they practice all the time. I was really a big fan of them. Good job,
really?
Adam. Good stuff, Adam.
Did you know that it was Lucky Boys Confusion Confusion that did the Stuff You Should Know song for us?
I did not know that. That's crazy because our old tour manager, the Chris McCarty Band's old tour manager, Donnie Buckner, he's the one who introduced me to Lucky Boys Confusion.
Because I know you.
Shout out to Donnie.
I know you knew somewhere along the ways because you did your own version of it.
That's
Do
absolutely.
you remember?
I do remember that.
All right, because
you still have that?
Yes. I can't find.
Can you still have the when we did the Tiger Woods? Remember when that whole thing with Elon happened? Do you remember?
What did we do?
Right, we
did a bit.
We did a song. This papers. Elon's gonna sign those papers. Elon's gonna sign those papers. I remember that, man. Yeah, we had a lot of fun stuff. We've done some songs, you and I.
Back when Chris used to come in on the show every now and again when I was doing mornings at 97X, I would give him like a couple of topics or a few, just like a lyric, a few words to like work with. And then by the time he would, Max, good morning. By the time he would come in to the show, he would have written like this little song that would include the stuff that I'd sent him. And they were always awesome. But I don't remember the specifics of that one. So stuff you should, oh no, I guess there's actually an artist called Stuff You Should Know. No, I want Stuff You Should Know from my own library. There we go. Now Stuff You Should Know. And so Lucky Boys did a song, Stuff You Should Know. Oh, here is I think this is the Lucky Boys version. And then I'm pretty sure I have yours too. But here is the Lucky Boys Confusion version.
Stuff you should know. Stuff you should know. Stuff you should know. Stuff you should know.
You know, now that I think about it, I should just go ahead and use it because I'm still using Stuff You Should Know on this show.
Why not?
And use that to set up, put a little graphic up there so that way I don't just go, okay, well, now let's do Stuff You Should Know and start going, well, let me put up this graphic and let me put up this graphic and let me put up this graphic. Yeah, what more? I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier.
Because you weren't supposed to. Because then we got to all enjoy that little bit together, man. So it's all right.
Where is your version? Because normally when I type in Stuff You Should Know, I bet you if I do SYSK, because Chris did a version. There it is, I believe. Here's you.
Stuff you should know. Stuff you should know. I got so many things for you to know. Like, check this out right here. See, Fisher has got a stalker. Or maybe she's a fan. And it all started when he put that beer in her hand. Said, stuff you should know. Oh, stuff you should know. Stuff you should know. That's stuff you should know, baby.
There's a couple of them. I think you did.
Stuff you should know. What? Stuff you should know. It's just the stuff that you should know. Oh, 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 oh.
I like that.
There's another one. Hold on, I think there's another one or two.
Stuff you should know. It's the stuff you should know. Stuff you should know.
All right. There we go.
So I guess I don't have to use the Lucky Boys.
You got all kinds of stuff, man. You can do it every week.
It's one more. Stuff you should know. Stuff you should know.
That's my least favorite of them all.
That's your least favorite?
Yeah, of them all, yeah. I mean, whatever. You gotta have it,
There we go, man. Solid. I'm excited.
Yeah, dude, you're good.
Oh, wait, what's this one? Stuff You Should Know, dumb joke. Hold on.
After a 16-year-old girl who had been missing from home overnight told...
I don't trust it. Back then, you used to make the most horrible jokes. I don't trust it. And it starts off with 16-year-old girl.
It said, all right, we're good.
Now
My mom is watching, man. We're going to let that one go.
Well, this will give me a chance to apologize possibly again for all the things I've ever said on the radio. All right, so let's try this again. Starts off with a 16-year-old girl. Please. This is coming from 2006.
He's like,
please don't be horrible. Please don't be horrible.
A 16-year-old girl who had been missing from home overnight told her mother she had sex with a man for $20. Tim Blixseth has raised the bar on creating the world's most expensive home that he plans to build and sell for $155 million. It's amazing that a house these days goes for more than a 16-year-old. It's...
that wasn't that horrible.
Should have just let that.
It was just stupid.
Go.
It wasn't. All right. Okay. Man, it was a dumb joke.
Pushing the button on that.
That wasn't too controversial.
We were doing really well with Stuff You Should Know, and now we're just like steps backwards.
Was it that bad?
And 2 steps forward, I take 2 steps back. That's what we just did. Oh man,
Mom, you raised me better than that. I'm sorry. All right, Chris. So, what would you do with this intro? Is it okay as is? You're like, oh man, that's fine. We'll just put a little something behind it. That's good. Or would you want to McCarty it up a little bit?
Oh, I would probably do something completely different now.
Oh yeah,
that was years ago.
No. I'm not talking about stuff you should know. I'm talking about the.
What you just did?
Yeah.
I mean, do it again.
Hold on.
Everything is
because now the stuff you should know.
Right.
Tune is in my head.
Yeah, that's
hold on. Let me pull up my notes. Hold on.
This is that intro. Oh yeah, I got the text right here. Man.
I got it too right here.
Horatio.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro.
The Wake.Show.
I like it.
Wow. Well, all right. Let me tell you the visual that goes along with it. Maybe this. I don't know if this will affect anything. So what I'm thinking is the little bouncing ball. You know, remember how you'd learn a song?
Yeah.
The little bouncing ball's going. This. Welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro, and then it goes poof, and that little bouncing ball is the dot.
I like
Wake.Show logo. That then the little ripples come out. Like the wake that comes out. Boom, boom, as the logo.
I like it.
All right, so that's it.
So you're an artist, dude. That's awesome.
Okay,
I totally saw the whole thing, walked you through it, made perfect sense to me. Yeah.
All right.
So all of it is probably snap, like you need to. Welcome to the Wake.Show. Everybody knows this is the intro. This is that intro. Wake.Show.
Okay. But see, this is why I have to turn it over to him because I don't have. Yeah, I can keep time, but when I think of songs in my head, they're not in any kind of rational time, and that's usually the first thing that he does to me. He's like, "All right, well let's go like this," and now go. Welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro. Okay, so I was good. Yeah, there we go.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you need anything. It was perfect. See, here's the thing. Like even you describing and explaining the bouncing ball and so to question, hey, maybe this isn't. No, it's perfect. It's exactly what was supposed to be. This is your show. Like, so of course you know all the things that are coming to you. Like we all have those signs that come to us or whatever it is, signs or whatever it is in our lives that we all have that lets us know that we're on the right path for what we have to do. And that's it. You're just creating your show. Just create it, man. Awesome. Good stuff.
All right. We got it then. And now we just have to, I guess, record it and get the graphics and get it up and running. But that leads us to our next issue. And that is, my dear friend, what the hell did you do to your hand? The last time we had him in here, it was your right hand, your right index finger.
Yep.
That
right here.
Something had happened. You weren't even quite sure. You thought you had just strained it, carrying too much stuff through the airport, because that's when it happened. And now, is it the right hand again? What'd you do this time?
God bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. I was doing some pull-ups. And instead of having
it's your problem right there.
Exactly. I had my hand in a little bit. So then I'm pulling up and I put too much strain and stress right on the outside of my wrist. And I literally felt like a rip.
Oh.
And like a pop. Like, oh. And I'm like, okay, it can't be broken. But I mean, the feeling / to kind of hear it, that is what I heard. And it was 3 of them. So now any kind of pressure. It's just a bummer. But I mean, look, it could be worse. I'm okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, setbacks. It's not a big deal. There's other things you work on. I mean, now all this tells me to do is just, strengthen my left hand or do more cardio. I mean, it's just, look at it and just kind of work around it.
All right, it's not telling you to slow down.
No, it's just saying. No, I think it's telling me to stop doing pull-ups in your house and go to the gym and stop being. That's what it's telling me. What are you doing? Go to the gym.
Well, all right. Well then, but when will you be able to play again? Are you gonna have to cancel gigs? I mean, if you're hearing pop, that sounds like some ligament stuff.
Hey, you saw my hand was worse last time because that was my index finger. That's me not being able to hold a pick. This is a rip. I can do this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're good.
Yeah. What happens when you start going like this though?
I mean, but I can. We'll go through it. Aleve, Advil. I'll be okay.
When's your next gig?
tonight, 5 o'clock, Hard Rock.
Of course. Oh man!
But you should come. It's gonna be great. I mean, I got a band again. It's gonna be just monsters on stage. The drummer's been playing for like 30 years. I've been playing for years. The bass player, it's gonna be great.
Awesome. And this is at Hard Rock Cafe.
Hard Rock Cafe, 5 o'clock.
I wish I could. I wish I could,
but I cannot.
Well, if you guys can't make it out to the Hard Rock tonight in Tampa, and you're on the other side of the bay, well, then join me for trivia night at Masteries.
Hey,
starting at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8:30.
Didn't you say you had a karaoke story? Was it karaoke or trivia story?
Well, I have some karaoke video from last night.
Let's check that out.
Because last week he's like, man, you should record this stuff and play it on your show.
Because here's the thing, people. Like, I was talking to him about his love of doing karaoke, and watching people sing is like, it's just really fulfilling to me. I watch these people and they just really enjoy themselves. You can tell that some of them have been looking forward to it, and it just like singing feels good. So I figured, man, show us some of that footage. So here we go.
All right. Well, the first thing that I have to show you is what happened to that? Wait, come on. Oh wait. There we go. All right, the first thing I got to show you. Oh, it doesn't matter. You see that sandwich right there?
Yeah.
That was a sandwich that's sitting right behind me. That's my lunch today for after the show.
Right.
But it looks so damn good, I had to take a test bite out of it. I'm such a fat F word that I can't even make a sandwich for myself without taking a bite out of it during breakfast and putting. Who does that? Who takes a bite out of their sandwich and then puts it into a plastic bag?
I mean, there's something wrong with that. Yeah.
This guy.
Just it looked good. I want to take a bite. I made it.
I don't know what that is. Okay, so here's the next thing. Wait, hold on. What that is, that's in a weird angle. But what that is a piece of equipment I need to buy. That is a fan. The summer the summer months are coming, and
I have that fan.
You do? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. There's a better picture there. I need at least that one, if not one, maybe a little bit bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so hold on. Here's one of the. Should I get people to sign something before I do this?
Maybe it might not be a bad thing.
Right.
At some point, you definitely will.
Her name was. Should I leave their name out of this?
You can say her first name, just don't give anonymity.
All right. Her name is Lauren.
Get up, Lauren.
Not too bad. I mean, you try to pull out Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey. I mean, I
think they got guts when they do that. Yeah. I'm like, are you sure you want to do that song, lady?
Oh, hold on. Let's see if Max is still watching. Max was on here earlier. They don't remember that. My buddy Steve goes, nah, you don't need to get him to sign anything. They won't remember the next day.
Nah, true that. If you have guts to get something up in front of people and sing like that, you should be okay with everybody singing.
All right. I love when Max shows up. Max is just a cool character, got a cool confidence about him.
All right.
Has a cool look about, like rocks a certain kind of a look that I could never pull off.
Right.
And likes to karaoke. So I get a text from my lawyer wife. Was that hurting your soul? Yes. I've come to realize that I think that the best karaoke jockeys, and now I was going to sound like I'm touting myself, but are
the ones that allow them to do that.
No, well, are not singers. I think if you have somebody who's hosting karaoke and they're a good singer, that's probably not a good idea. Because of that right there, it hurts you to hear stuff like that. For me, I just get a big smile because someone's up there just belting out They're expressing themselves. But if you're a singer, if you're a musician, then that kind of stuff can hurt you.
It's just that Bob Marley's the guy, dude.
Why
Like,
didn't you?
what are you doing?
I put the proper reverb behind him, though. I had some solid reverb behind him. All right, this guy. What was his name? I can't remember his name. Let's see.
This guy's all right.
That's a badass little setup we got out there too, huh?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so I forgot his name from last night.
Yeah, that dude was really good. That guy, I like that.
I remember this is the one you can see in this photo here. You know, my wife is still texting me. She's a lawyer, and she's like a consent to be recorded and have the recording blasted all over the internet. I wonder. I probably should get them to sign something. And I think I'll do that from now. But listen, this is my personal page. It's not like a,
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal at all.
If I was a news network or something like that, I'd be a little more
like at all, dude.
All right, Carrie. I remember Carrie was good, and I can't remember the other. Oh. She was having fun with it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And this is Mook. This is Mook. And Kyle. I think the other guy's Kyle. Oh, wait. I think this is the motto, and I think they're dropping
the motto.
I think they're dropping all the words that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we can drop whatever we want on it. It's, we can be uncensored.
Feel ice cold, baby. Just wanna chill.
Here we go. He's awesome. He's out there. He comes out there quite a bit.
Every day. He comes out there every day.
He's not out there every day, but he's out there a lot. Let's see here. This was Sarah. She had some good pipes too.
It's so amazing how this song.
What's that on her chest? Has she got like a heart thing?
Oh snap!
I didn't even notice that.
Good for her then.
She was, she came out there a couple times. Beautiful voice.
Really good.
Yeah.
See, everyone's got that voice, that thing that just we feel we have to sing. That's why I was so upset about Bob Marley, dude. Like, dude, come on, man. You're not really singing, bro. Like,
He was, man. He is. Now, that's my boy, man.
I'm saying
my boy
that
Max.
everybody else is singing the actual melody, like staying with it. He's acting, come on, man, you're trying, dude. Come on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Man, just let the people have it.
Be drunk on another. Man, yeah, Bob Marley.
Chris,
so good, dude.
You'd be the worst karaoke jockey.
I'd be the best karaoke.
You'd be like, no, you'd be trying to sing the song for him.
And I would have stopped this. I would have just slowly dropped the music down and played something else. Been like, and that's Zach. Thank you so much, Zach. Man, no, you're right. I'd be the worst.
Wait. I got to play this guy. We don't get one of these too often. Pantera. We don't get these.
Oh, that's awesome. Stop.
He was awesome.
Walk. What do you say? Breathe. Respect. Walk. Who are you talking to, guys?
That was Blake. He's in town. Like, there was a lot of people out that are in town for the race in St. Pete. And he's part of, I can't remember what crew he said he was part of, but they had to be back to the track at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that was about it for him. He said that he was going to have a drink, a shot, and a song, and then go to bed. So welcome everybody in town who's in for the race. All right. I was thinking about that though, because a lot of karaoke jockeys are people who can really sing too, and maybe you've even, had earlier aspirations that had a band back in the day or something like that. But it's got to hurt those guys or gals' ears to listen to some of it. For me, man, if you were to just put a camera on me all night, this is what you would think that there was something wrong with me, because this is me most of the night. I'm just having the best time watching people get up there drunk and belt out whatever they belt out, and then I'm surprised. Then I'm surprised a couple times a night.
That was surprising. The Blake dude.
Yeah, well, even that, with some voices too, where and not only that, but there's two different kinds of great voices. I'm oversimplifying everything from my perspective, doing karaoke every Wednesday night. There is a great voice, like you're like, wow, they nailed it. And then there are those that they have been in a band, that they have performed professionally or at some level for an extended period of time. There's just two different kind of feels. And maybe it's just the confidence in the way they own the stage or something when people get up there, but it's a lot of fun. Elliot, you need to make it out there one night. Oh, by the way, Elliot, you and I need to hook up either today or tomorrow. I need to give you a call after the show. Oh, wait, where are your tickets? I gotta make sure I don't see them here. I think I might have put them in my bag. I think your tickets are in my bag, but I got to get you your Gasparilla tickets. Gasparilla Music Festival this week.
Oh, they're there. I'm just kidding. No, I'm sorry. That was me.
I'm sorry. That was after.
Sorry.
And the same thing with while we're on the subject, Chris.
Which subject?
I really enjoy the trivia nights that I do.
Yes.
And when in the beginning when I was talking to some of my radio friends, they thought I was joking. And I don't know if some people think it's beneath, like in the level of entertainment.
Yes.
Trivia jockey is somewhere down there, next to the guy that sits in the dunk tank. I don't know. But I really, really enjoy them. I really like the intimacy, the interaction.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of fun with them, right?
Right.
Well, one of the things that I've learned in the past 2 years doing these is that a lot of the other trivia companies out there, trivia jockeys, they are very smart people. Like there's even people out there that have made it onto Jeopardy and made it onto Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and stuff like that. But I also, this is just hearsay because I haven't been at any of their events or any of their trivia nights. But the comments that will come to me is about how big of a-holes they are, that they're very strict with the rules. And you're like, oh, I didn't hear the question. Can you say it again? Sorry, just read them 2 times. So they're very that serious. And
overzealous.
And I think one of the reasons why our trivia night is so successful is because I don't take things too seriously, and I'm not that smart. So I've got a nice voice.
I beg to differ with that.
I've got a nice voice. I can read the questions, and people think that I'm smart because I'm the guy
intelligent
reading the questions. But if I were sitting out there, I'd be somewhere in the middle of the pack, I'm sure. In that, so I don't know. Sorry, I was off subject there. Now, back to stuff you should know. Go through some of the stories today. Chris, you got anything before we get into stuff you should know?
No, not really, man.
Okay. Let's see here. Where are we going to start? Oh, it came up with Creepy Alexa, so we'll start with Creepy Alexa. Have you had one of these yet?
I have an Alexa, yeah.
You do have one?
Yeah.
And it does go off like this?
There's just moments when it's just pitch quiet. All of a sudden you hear sorry, I can't find that. Or like,
Amazon's Alexa randomly laughs.
Or I just watched it, late at night, and then all of a sudden you just hear this voice in the background.
No way. No.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. There are people out there that are laughing because they know exactly what I'm talking about.
And I know that I've told the story on the show, but a friend of the family, I think they have 4 in there throughout their house, and he was telling us about them over the holidays. And he's not telling any positive stories. It's like, all of the stories about how much he has to repeat himself and how it doesn't get this right and doesn't get that right, which is all well and good. But then he starts telling us how it'll just go off in the middle of the night. And he'll just hear Alexa go, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Could you repeat that? And as soon as he said that, I couldn't have said it any louder. The F word. F that. No
Dude,
way.
It is unnerving, man.
No
when
way.
I'm telling you, because you're just not ready for it. No. You don't think so. You hear this voice, it is loud. Oh, but when you realize it's Alexa, you can't help but laugh and be like, "Oh, that's a good scare." You know what I mean? And then you go back to bed.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
So the first, if I had an Alexa 2 and the first Siri, if all of a sudden Siri starts laughing in the middle of the night, I'm just I'm flushing it down the toilet. Elliot says finding the right trivia master is like finding the right bride. Now, listen, I will say this, that I wouldn't be everybody's trivia master because I know that I have run some of the teams that are more serious.
Finding the right bride.
Some of the ones that are more serious and go to like some of the more serious trivia, games. They have, I don't want to say they've complained, but they've had criticisms, constructive criticism for the way that I do my game. And so
everyone does though.
Yeah, so if you're like you want to get in there, you're looking to play some serious trivia, maybe I'm not your guy. If you're looking to have some fun, I'm your guy.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's great. I like the idea that you're just trying to, give people something to do.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this? I mean, I don't know, but there's this new trivia. I don't know how new it is, but I just got hip to it. It's called HQ. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So at 3 o'clock and at 9 o'clock.
Oh yes,
Yeah, I've heard of this.
People have told me about it. This guy is raking it in. He does 2 trivia games a day or something like that.
Yeah. So at one point there was 1.07 million people playing this game.
Wow.
And this dude, he's brilliant. So I did it, and the questions are definitely but the other day, last night, 224 people won, and they split, the $225
Trivia
and it's
HQ.
free. Yeah, it's free. I did it last night. It's kind of fun.
Let's see. Go to Wikipedia for it. We'll start. Inside HQ Trivia secret formula to writing their questions. 12 questions about the future of HQ Trivia and its $15 million fund. Holy smokes. Yeah, I haven't seen this. I haven't downloaded the app. I probably should, though. HQ Trivia is an app and trivia game released in August of 2000. Oh, it's only been around since August. Holy shit. HQ was developed by Vine creators Russ Yusupov and Colin Kroll. Its primary host is Scott Rogowski, who broadcasts from New York, New York. All right, gameplay, the app.
So at 3 o'clock we can play.
9 p.m. and 3 p.m. So you've hopped on and played this thing before?
Yeah, I did it last night.
And it's free. What does it have? Ads and stuff like that?
No, I didn't see any ads. Not yet, of course.
And then if you are up in the top, whatever, you get paid out.
Yeah, if you win, if you answer all 12 questions right.
That'd be fun. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, but there are some pretty obscure questions where you're like, okay, I think one of them was what the first fragrance that CoverGirl used, like grass. Like, oh wow.
How do they prevent cheating? Because if there's money involved, then there's incentive to game the system. And so how do you must have to answer like that?
There's 12 seconds. You can't. It's 10 seconds, so it's just whoom. You can't type in real quick, and I don't know how you can get it. I don't see how you could cheat.
What if 2 people were trying to game the system?
At the end of the day, 224. Here it was. 224 people won. So
yeah, but is it a decent amount of money? Because
$2,500 divided by 224, $11.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I won $11.
Oh, I see.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy that hosts it is a big time a comedian. He works for The Onion. It's not his game.
Oh, okay.
Ian says you can't Google the answers. They only give you 5 seconds.
Oh, is it 5?
Like
okay.
5 cents.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right. So, hold on. Let me a second. Let me see if I've got the actual creepy Alexa laugh before we move on.
Hey, Ian, how far have you gone in that? What's the furthest round you got to?
How many rounds do they do?
I think is it 12? It says 12 rounds.
Where am I here? Where'd my Alexa story go? Son of a. Several people who own Amazon's Echo speakers have reported a strange bug. The Alexa voice assistant has been laughing for apparently no reason.
Now the laughing I could not do.
Some users on Twitter and Reddit says the outbursts have been entirely spontaneous. Others said Alexa's laughed after being asked to turn on the lights and may have misheard the command. Having an office conversation about pretty confidential stuff, and Alexa just laughed. Anybody else ever have that? It didn't chime as if we accidentally triggered it. And that was the weird thing, you know, because I guess it chimes before it pops in. It didn't chime. It just laughed. She goes, it was really creepy. So my mom and I are sitting in the living room. Neither of us said a word, and Alexa lit up and laughed for no reason. She didn't even say anything. She just laughed. We unplugged her. Amazon said in a statement that the outbursts are due to its smart speakers hearing accidental orders. In rare circumstances, Alexa can mistakenly hear the phrase, Alexa laugh. To fix the issue, Amazon is disabling that command and changing the trigger phrase to Alexa, can you laugh? Okay, so that's that. It's not specters. It's not gremlins that are causing this issue. All right, next up here. Well, I don't want to bring things down too much, but the opioid crisis. Let's hit on this just because it's not going anywhere. And new numbers out Tuesday show America's opioid crisis is getting worse. In 45 states, opioid overdoses just in the last year rose 30%. In 45 states, opioid overdoses rose 30% in just a year. According to the CDC, the nation is in the grip of a fast-moving epidemic for which there is no easy solutions. Illinois, one of the hardest states hit, with a nearly 66% increase in suspected opioid overdoses, visits the emergency room last year. So this is not going anywhere. One of the reasons why I brought it up is because interestingly enough, there is some opioid legislation going through or just went through, and here in the state of Florida. By the way, Ian says round 6 or 7 was the highest he's ever gotten. So what happens? You can only miss so many, and then you're kicked off. It's like
yeah. And once you lose, I mean, you can keep watching.
You miss your first question, and you're out,
and you're done.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Wow! Yeah. Holy smokes!
Mm-hmm. And the first 2 questions are generally pretty easy, I think. Ian must be a pretty smart dude to get to 7.
He is.
Attaboy.
So it is some money that was going to go to fight this opioid crisis here in the state of Florida.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Are you looking at this?
Oh yeah, I should probably pull that down.
Are all these? Wait. Are all these? Before you do, are all these ads? Like that's an ad. Someone pays for it.
That's an ad.
And they paid for that. Is that an ad?
Yeah, I think those are all ads.
Is this an ad too? The mugshot thing?
Yeah.
Why is someone? This is my issue, dude. Like,
okay,
someone put money out. They put money out to put that up there and scare people real quick. Like, I don't. What's the point of?
People we're fascinated with mugshots, and so usually when you see that mugshot one, it's look who was arrested in your area, like it's very pinpointed, and so you click to go, oh, do I know anybody, or do I recognize? Well,
if
anybody?
you know any of. I'm just not judge. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I don't know. I just feel like I see that, and but why? I just think, why? What's the point of that? Because for me,
it's clickbait.
Well, here's the thing. For me, like, I get my hair out, dude. That looks like me.
Oh, I
like,
see.
Yo,
I see.
What are you doing? Why are you putting for what? Just mugshot.
Well,
scary black dude. I'm like, oh,
okay.
Geez.
Well, first of all, it looks like we got a 50-50. Well, no, I guess 2 of those people look. Well,
I'm just saying.
One day we won't even be looking at race anymore.
I'm just saying, why are we doing that? We people
here. Well, at the same time that we're still doing stuff like that.
But you know what that does? And I'm been out. You know what that does?
What?
Okay, so there's fear and there's respect, right? So when I walk by someone and we just cross and it's like boom, and let's just say for the story that they are a white person.
Okay.
There are more times than half that I hear sorry, not excuse me. So when I hear someone say sorry, Like, dude, we're just walking. You're going where you're going. I'm going where I'm going. Why are you sorry? What did you do? Sorry about what? Sorry. I feel like sorry comes from fear. I feel like that is what stems sorry. That's just all I'm saying, because I always have like, oh, excuse me, because I'm always saying, excuse me. What is this fear thing? And that's when I go, you know what? Now, I thought about that just today, just to myself. Well, because I saw it, and then I just noticed that and was like, could that be? And I'm just sorry, man. It's just
I know, but look at the guy in the bottom. The bottom middle has my hair. It looks like me.
Hey, I'm just saying that. Then let me ask you a question. Do you hear sorry? Do you hear excuse me?
I'm not, but I'm not paying for. I'm not looking out for those things. So I feel like in those moments, Chris, you might be right, but we also have to be careful not to try to read too much into such, sorry versus excuse me.
I'm just saying, and we all know that it'd be nice for things to just be not. But I'm just saying, what's the point of that?
That's clickbait. I just told you the point is we know that people will click on mugshots. They have those newspapers that they put up to people that are the mugshots of people in your area.
Here's a better thing. Let's just do this. We're going to. It's not about my way. It's about. I just want people to start paying attention and looking at things and wondering why is someone asked me, what is the point? Because the issue that we have is this separation thing, and just start paying attention to what is being fed to you and ask yourself: could this be getting me to? Bringing me closer to people or away from people? Just start looking at that in your life. Is this bringing me towards people or away from people? Is this bringing me towards people? Because this is the problem. This is what's going to keep everything together and everything in our lives when we come together. Come together.
All right. Well, then let's get to the what's right with the world.
Yeah, coming together.
And let's turn to corporate America. What's right with the world?
And that's right. The W. I like that.
That's it's a nice little. It's the times we live in, and McDonald's flips its iconic logo in support of International Women's Day. In a sign of what they hope signals support, McDonald's has flipped its iconic double arches into a W to celebrate International Women's Day. One location at Linwood, California, the actual exterior and the street sign have been flipped. But for most locations, the tribute has been limited to advertisements and uniforms. Only 100 locations are reported to have changed the logo across the country. So according to release, the announcement, according to McDonald's, 6 out of 10 of their managers in the United States are women, 6 out of 10. The announcement has been met with mixed reactions, with some hailing the move as a unique and surprising signal to support, while others consider the move not enough. They have the best fries in the games. Now they're showing some love. This International Women's Day is one tweet. Another one, however, McDonald's has refused to support workers' demands for a living wage and ignored sexual harassment complaints. But it's flipping some arches to make a W, so all good. I'm sure they have plenty of issues. McDonald's, plenty of problems internally that they need to deal with, like a lot of institutions out there. But it is this is a sign of the times. That corporations don't make these moves. They make these moves because they feel it's the right move to make. If you think this is all of a sudden somebody waking up and having an epiphany at the corporate level of McDonald's going, we really should show our support a little bit more. This is knowing the times that we're living with the Me Too movement, the Time's Up movement, and they're just really good at marketing. But at the same time, this is also a positive thing that is adding to the conversation, that is adding to what we're talking about.
Balance, man. I think at the end of the day, we're just looking for balance. Like me going on about the mugshot thing and the women, it's just balance, man. Everyone just wants equality. That's all this is about, man.
Yeah. And then we go back to the old adage, life isn't fair. And if you wake up every day going, life isn't fair, like, look over here, life isn't treating me fair over here. Look over there, life isn't treating me. Well, mother effer, if you had a chance to walk, by the way, I'm not talking to you, Chris, I'm talking to whoever's watching.
Come on.
Mother effer, if you had a chance to walk a mile, walk a lifetime in somebody else's shoe, you would see that life was not fair for them either. You'd take the richest, the most, whatever, the prettiest person, and you walk a mile in their shoe and you go, damn, well, they got their shit too. So
exactly, man. I think at the end of the day, man, you're talking about life, and
Thank you, Corey.
Live your life, man. Live your life the best you can live it for yourself.
Corey,
and it'll all be good.
Ready for you to join this show. Ready for you to come in here. I'm really proud of what we put together here, and this is cool. Corey Dillon. I don't know if you know Corey or not, radio personality in this area for a long time, media personality, and she's awesome. Used to work with her over at Cox. Let's see here. So, tricking the trees. You having any issues with the with allergies at all this year, Chris?
Nope.
We were talking about these the other day, the pollen count, where normally it is, or it takes only like 10 parts per cubic meter or 10 something per cubic meter in order to get allergies triggered in a person. Right now, or at least a couple days ago, there was 3,600. So usually 10 parts will get it done. 3,600 parts per cubic liter were in the air, making us, according to a USF professor, the worst in the country when it came to a pollen, or the highest pollen count. So with that, over-the-counter eye medication is becoming hard to find in Tampa. It's flying off. It's flying off the shelves. So that was the first part of the story. But then as I got to the end here, one of the doctors they were talking to goes, however, if you have mild symptoms, you can call around to different stores to see if their next shipments are expected. And then I saw this. Dr. Senka suggests prevention, a phrase called tricking the trees, which I thought then was going to lead into her, tricking the trees. Like, how do you trick the trees not to release all that pollen?
Right.
It's some of that, tantric tree love. But these are really good pieces of advice if you are suffering this allergy season. Change your clothes as soon as you get home. Leave your shoes at the door so you don't carry the pollen in. Wash your hair immediately as pollen carries in your hair. Take a shower before bed. Wash your face throughout the day. Wear glasses and a hat or any protection while outdoors. There you go. Simple as that. And
stay clean.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's basically what it's saying. It didn't even dawn on me. And I've had, I've been suffering from allergies, seasonal allergies forever. And it never even dawned on me that, well, maybe I should, wash my face multiple times a day.
Right. So you're going to start doing that?
Yeah. And nice. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, because I normally, and for those of you that know me and you see me go through fits, I've gone through these fits on the air where I cannot stop coughing. I haven't had that at all. I've had two moments that were not quite in that category, but approaching that category, but they didn't last very long. And normally, man, Chris, in the middle of a show, I'll just be coughing and sniffling the entire time. And it's
gotta be maddening.
It is. And you have no control over it. There's nothing you can do. And so it just makes it worse and worse and worse.
Well, you've been doing well without it, so that's good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, good.
All right, next up, the FBI. So I think everybody viewing, or most people have been interacting with the show in recent weeks. We're all kind of on the same page. It doesn't seem like we have hardcore right-wingers or hardcore left-wingers. We have people that are willing to have conversations with other, viewers and people who are commenting, and you guys keep it very cordial. That is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
That agree to disagree stuff it's huge. It goes a long way.
Yeah, we're all different, man. It's all good.
So gun control stuff is on the table. Arming teacher, security at the schools on the table. Mental health on the table. And so here's the FBI's contribution now, because remember, the spotlight's on them. It seemed like they dropped the ball in some significant ways, and they did. And they go, here's how we dropped the ball, and released a report. So I'd like to get right to what they released, okay? Opportunities we missed. And this is concerning Nicholas Cruz. In September of 2017, the FBI received an internet tip from a video blogger about a threatening comment posted to a YouTube video the blogger had posted. The comment stated, "I'm going to be a professional school shooter," and was posted under the username Nicholas Cruz. All right, so that was September of last year. Now, remember, one of his neighbors had either saw that quote or had heard him say something similar, and we read a story about how they were like, I don't want to be around, I don't want to be living next to this kid when he turns 18 years old, because he had written that he was going to go out and get a gun and become a professional school shooter or something like that. So the internet tip was routed to an FBI, and so here we go. Here's what happened. To an FBI office in Mississippi. which, after interviewing the video blogger and conducting social media searches, closed the case in October of 2017 because it lacked personal identifiable information on the user who posted the threatening comment. The agents tasked with the case could have requested assistance from YouTube to attempt to identify the user who left the comment, but determined that the United States Attorney's Office in that region was unlikely to agree with such a request. This will be some of the frustrating things that'll come out as we go along, because you have to understand due process, or the process, and it can be very frustrating because you know hindsight's 20/20, and okay, so you could have stopped this kid right here. Well, let's go to the AG or the United States Attorney's Office. Yeah, the attorney, whatever, state attorney, the state attorney of that in that region. Anyway, I'm sure I'm getting that wrong.
I think the AG is the Attorney General, so you're asking for the state attorney?
Yeah, the United States Attorney's Office in that region was unlikely to. So they already know. They already know when they take some of the stuff to certain, whatever, that they need to have, it needs to fit in certain parameters, or else it's going to get shot done. Yeah, the hindsight's 20/20. This guy went on to kill 17 people. So in January of 2018, a friend of the Cruz family called the FBI. So this first one was September of 17. They closed it in October of 17. Now we're January. This is just a couple of months ago. A friend of the Cruz family called the FBI tip line to report Nicholas Cruz's troubling behavior and disturbing social media posts. The caller noted that local authorities in Parkland had also notified of Cruz's threatening behavior. According to Deputy Director Bodwich, the caller provided sufficient information to the tip line for the FBI to launch a probe. He noted, however, that the call taker did not ask any standard investigative probing questions during the call. So that's another failure right there, another ball dropped there. So following the tip, the call taker spoke with the supervisor, but their conversation was not documented. At the time, the call taker was able to connect information about Nicholas Cruz to the September 2017 tip about the threatening YouTube comment. Despite these connected dots, the call taker and supervisor decided not to pursue the matter further, and the case was closed. Further, the FBI did not contact local authorities in Parkland, even though the caller stated that the Parkland police had also been notified about Cruz's disturbing behavior.
Oh my God.
Despite multiple opportunities, the FBI did not share information with state and local authorities. Better information sharing between federal and local law enforcement may have prevented the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Corrective action.
So here's the next part of this that the FBI released.
Yeah, I just got so sick reading that, man. Corrective action. Kids are dead, man.
I know, but at least out of all of you do have one of these organizations coming forward and going, instead of trying to hide anything that they might have missed or messed up, they're like, all right, here we go, let's lay it out. So they'll take their licks, in the media from citizens, and then hopefully, it doesn't happen again. This stuff doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's we all know, we all feel it. There's no words for it. It just sucks.
Deputy Director Bodwich admitted there were failures and that corrective actions will be taken. The FBI has launched separate reviews of the September 2017 and January 2018 tips regarding Nicholas Cruz. According to the Deputy Director, a preliminary report recommends stronger oversight of the tip line and better training for the tip line's call takers and supervisors. The preliminary report also recommends better documentation for the interaction between call takers and supervisors. What? So a call comes in, you meet in the hall or whatever, like, hey, what would you do here? I don't know, do this, do that, and they go their separate ways. They're supposed to then sit down and document that moment. The House Judiciary Committee and the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee will review the final report once it is issued to ensure all finalized recommendations are implemented. It will also review our laws to see if information sharing between federal, state, and local law enforcement can be improved to enhance public safety. And then lastly, they say, during the briefing, members also expressed concerns about whether the FBI has the capability and authority to screen social media for certain phrases, such as school shooting. The FBI plans to provide information to the committees on this matter. So that's the latest. There's no There's no commentary to be had right here. There's no let's spin this and bring it back to something that is heated, so we can get you worked up. With if you're a right winger or a left winger, throw out some key phrases to get you all. Hey, David, how you doing, bud? Get you all worked up. It's not gonna. This is just. It is a discussion that's not going anywhere. There won't be any answers today. There won't be any answers tomorrow. But maybe we will see some effective change. Over the coming months. Probably not.
Change is happening. It could be subtle. It is subtle. Just the fact that we're talking about it, it's subtle. It's working.
Yeah, it's slowly but surely. And this is just that's my addition to this today. Here you go.
Yeah.
There's that story. Here's where we are.
I mean, but you know what's sad about that? It's part of the reason why everything needs to be better. I mean, just the system is failing us. The fact that people are calling authorities and nothing's being done. I mean, like, I've been accosted by police and didn't feel like I should even call. What's the point? And then I can do anything. And then you read this and it just reinforces that, but you don't. It's not a good reinforcement to have. Like, we shouldn't be doubting, those who are supposed to protect and serve us. So maybe even that, thank God they're coming through and just saying, hey, we messed up, instead of, like you said, hiding it. It's just like I said, man. It's just rough.
But this is also why
that's where we're at right now.
This is also why many people who are members of the NRA and those who are vehement protectors of the Second Amendment, well, that's why they want more people with guns, so you don't have to rely on the authorities, so you don't have to wait 5 minutes for the cops to get there. But in these school shootings, once the first shot is fired, it's over an average of like 4 minutes or so. They're not there. Yeah. They can't get there in time. So
and that's why the other argument to have no guns and stuff. So it goes back and forth, back and forth.
Right, but we have a Second Amendment, So unless we have enough votes in the country from governors and representatives and people to change the Second Amendment, which we don't, then this is where we are. All right, something interesting today. Federal court will hold the first ever hearing on climate change science. And this is happening in San Francisco, has ordered parties in a landmark global warming lawsuit to hold what could be the first ever U.S. court hearing on the science of climate change. This is a discussion that's gone to the back burner recently with the Me Too movement, the shootings, and everything else going on in the world. This is going to happen March 21st. We'll feature lawyers from Exxon, BP, Chevron, and other oil companies pitted against those for San Francisco and Oakland, California, cities that have accused fossil fuel interests of covering up their role in contributing to global warming. Quote, "This will be the closest that we have seen to a trial on climate science in the United States to date," said Michael Berger. This is a lawyer who heads up the Sabin Institute, or Center for Climate Change Law, at Columbia University. Experts on both sides say that Alsop's call for a climate change tutorial is unlike anything they've heard before. Quote, "I don't know of any judge who has asked for a tutorial like this," said a physicist and former Energy Department undersecretary known for his contrarian views on global warming research. "I think it's a great idea," he went on to say. "Anybody having to make a decision about climate science needs to understand the full spectrum of what we know and what we don't know." So that's right around the corner, going to be happening here in a couple of weeks. And this is big as we move this discussion forward. I don't know where you stand, if you think too much about this kind of stuff, Chris. Climate change and the controversy around it. Personally, the way I see it is nothing's going to happen until there's something major. There's something breaks off of Greenland, and next thing you know, that causes a tsunami, or New York's underwater. Something, it's not going to be until something like that we all of a sudden go, "Ooh, well, maybe we should do something."
Yeah, I think you're right. That's kind of like how it is. We always talk about preventative measures, but the thing is, natural
but
nature.
There's just too much.
But
there's too much money and energy. There's too much money and energy, and the answers to this would cut into what they do. So. We're just going to keep going until there's that one incident.
You're right. You nailed it. That's how it always is, man.
I also wonder if I'm going to be the last generation of people that live where I'm living, because I'm at the tip of Pinellas, right there. I could walk out into the street and look down at the end of the street and see the water, kind of. So not really, but in my imagination, I know it's there. It's close enough. But yeah, and I'm not even in a flood zone, but I'm wondering if me and my wife stay in this house forever, if we'd be the last people living in this house. I don't know. That might. That's
But you know what you're doing. You're doing the same thing that they're doing, like talking about the future of like what could be. We'll find out when we find out, man, and we'll adjust accordingly. It's kind of we're reactionary beings, man. Something's gonna happen, we're gonna react to it. And
I know that the climate, for people who are passionately fighting for reform, so something changes and we don't have the catastrophes. I know that probably that kind of approach, a kind of a sentiment frustrates you, is annoying. But there is a great point in that, and that is we will adjust, we will adapt, and push through whatever it is that whatever hell that we create for ourselves. We'll get through that and get to the other side and learn a lesson, and another 10 or 100 or 200 generations from now, everything will be just fine.
Dude, can we sing a song? This is perfect. The song I wanted to sing coming in here.
Sure.
Everything you're just saying just sounds like perfect introduction.
All right, let's go grab your guitar. And while you're doing that, I'll hit the last two things that I have on my list here. One, in the Me Too era, some questions need for car girls at shows. These have been a staple. At the Geneva Motor Show, some automakers want visitors to focus their minds more on the models, the cars, that is, not the women. In the wake of the Me Too movement's explosion and growing awareness about sexual harassment, some auto executives have been taking a new look at the traditional use of often scantily clad women on display at auto shows. Some companies say a culture shift is in the air. Though a walk through this year's Geneva Auto Show suggests the industry still actively associates its products with female sensuality and uses models to leverage that. So, that one of the key things that jumped out at me this morning when I looked at that is that the cultural shift is in the air, and that is something that I wonder, because that's it feels like that to me. But I'm just one guy sitting here in Tampa, Florida. There feels like there is a huge cultural shift. I know for some of you that consider yourself traditionalists, conservatives, that's bullshit. And you fight against it. To me, you can't fight against. Well, no, that's part of the culture is the give and take, or that ebb and flow of people fighting for what they believe. But it does feel like there is a cultural shift, and then I feel like. We immediately have to go into a discussion of is it good, is it bad? It's not good, it's not bad.
It just
is.
It
is.
just is.
It's happening. So adapt, figure it out, or go find your little place out in the middle of nowhere and dig in, and hopefully you can write it out before the future catches up with you. And then let's see here. This guy here, this is kind of funny. Well, funny or sad, depending on how you look at it. So this guy's going to court, right? He's going to court because he had stolen a car, and he had to go face the judge. So he steals a car to go to court.
Oh my God!
This is in Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford police say man drove stolen car to court to face stolen car charges. And how they caught him, he was in, going through his proceedings, whatever. Comes out. Goes to get in the vehicle. Well, while he's in there, the cops had come by, had run the tags, and knew that it was a stolen car. So they just sat there and waited. Next thing you know, he hops into the vehicle, and they arrest him again. Oh, wait, where are you going? Where are you going? And then my last one, and here we go. Oh, snap. Something went wrong. Here we go. This ends everything perfectly. The last thing on my list today, the hairy bikini. This is the hairy bikini. Ladies and gentlemen. No story here. Just
Oh my gosh.
a man from Pennsylvania who is in town, Clearwater Beach. Look closer to your screen. That is not a bikini. That is his chest hair that he has shaved just right so it looks like he's got a bikini on.
That's crazy.
The hairy bikini right here in Clearwater, Florida. Sir, I hope you enjoy your stay. Spend a lot of money at the beaches. Spring break vacation season has officially arrived on America's #1 beach with the arrival of a Pennsylvania man sporting a hair bikini. The bikini brought smiles to many on the beach Wednesday, including Corporal Giordano and Officer Pers, unless they're missing an E there, and it was Perez. Let's see if we can zoom into his badge there. That's a Perez. No, I don't know. And that's that. That was the extent of that story. Just to show you.
That's cool.
Oh,
Never
man.
seen that before. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. That's stuff you should know for today. God, tell me about this song.
Well, you were just saying about how things happen and tragedies will happen and you just will be okay. And I just kind of was like, man, I just going in here, I was going to come in here and sing a song called Butterfly, which is about that, brother. You know? Can you hear it?
Yeah, things sound fine.
All right, good.
I think this will be good like this. You want a little?
I've seen miracles and I've seen falling rain. I've seen all the good and all the bad. One man can claim, but this butterfly is spreading his wings tonight. Life is full of many things, ups and downs and broken dreams. But like a dream we're in between. But where's the end and the beginning? But once you've been the floor, you'll never be the same. Never been on your knees before, but you find yourself praying, saying, I've seen miracles and I've seen falling rain. I've seen all the good and all the bad. One man can claim, but this butterfly is spreading his wings tonight. Life, you can look over things like how gold turns to diamond rings. When angels fly, the birds they sing. You move so fast, you can't hear a thing. But once you've hit the floor, you'll never be the same. Never been on your knees before. You find yourself praying, saying, I've seen miracles and I've seen falling rain. Seen all the good and all the bad. One man can claim, but this butterfly is spreading his wings tonight. What can I say, darling? Just don't be afraid, darling. You will spread those wings in time. What more can I say, darling? Just don't be afraid, darling. Everything will be just fine. I've seen miracles and I've seen falling rain. I've seen all the good and all the bad. One man can claim, but this butterfly is spreading his wings tonight. I've seen miracles and I've seen falling rain. I've seen all the good and all the bad. One man can claim, but this butterfly is spreading his wings tonight.
Thank you, sir. This is a perfect song. Whoop, I can take the reverb off now. The perfect song to highlight that man on the in the hair bikini. All right, thank you so much for being a part of the Wake.Show today, Chris. Thank you so much for coming by. You going to be by tomorrow too?
Of course.
All right, because I know he's playing tonight at the Hard Rock. You said it starts at what time?
5 o'clock, so it won't be too late for me.
All right, 5 to what?
5 to 9.
And that'll be at the Hard Rock Cafe tonight. And then join me at Mastery's St. Pete Beach for trivia night if you'd like to come out.
And the guy in the bikini will be at Mastery's. The hair bikini will be with Chris tonight.
Yes, hair bikini guy. Come on down to St. Pete Beach. I know it's nice at Clearwater, but come on down to St. Pete Beach and Blind Pass. We'll be doing trivia. Maybe we should do trivia tonight at Mastery's from 7 until 8:30. Have a great day. Thank you so much for participating, being a part of the Wake.Show. See you tomorrow morning, approximately 11:11. One day I'll get this right. One day I'll make sure that we're on time and we're up and running every day at 11:11. The show starts, not 11:20, 11:27. One day.
One day. Good morning, Hawaii. Woohoo.